The German Progress Party was the first modern political party in Germany, founded by liberal members of the Prussian House of Representatives in 1861, in opposition to Minister-President Otto von Bismarck. History. Upon the failed revolutions of 1848, several deputies in the Landtag Diet of Prussia maintained the idea of constitutionalism as it had been developed in the Weimar era. In the 1850s, these old liberals gathered in a parliamentary group around Georg von Vinck, an originally conservative Prussian official and landowner. Vinck, former member of the Frankfurt Parliament, a polished orator and firebrand, had fallen out with Prime Minister Otto Theodor von Manteuffel over his reactionary policies, and in 1852 even fought a duel with Bismarck after a heated verbal exchange in Parliament. When under the regency of William I of Prussia from 1858, the Prussian policies of the new era turned towards a more centrist stance. A left-wing group under Max von Falkenbeck seceded and allied with members of the German National Association to form the German Progress Party. On 6 June 1861, among the founders were Rudolf Virchow, Theodor Mommsen, Werner von Siemens, Benedikt Waldeck, Hermann Schulze-Delitzsch, Hans Victor von Unruh, Wilhelm Loh and Johann Jacobi. In its program, the party responded to the German question by the postulation of the unification of the German states with the central power in Prussia. It demanded representative democracy, though not universal suffrage, in view of the Prussian three-class franchise system, implementation of the rule of law and larger responsibility for the local government. Before the rise of the Social Democrats, it was the main left-wing party in Germany. It was also the first German party with its candidates and deputies acting on a common party platform, supported by the rising bourgeois middle class. The Progressives had the largest group in the Prussian lower house between 1861 and 1865. In 1862, the refusal to furthermore pass the government budget for a reorganization of the Prussian army instigated by War Minister Albrecht von Roon led to the resignation of the centrist Prime Minister Prince Charles Antony of Hohenzollern. King William, on the verge of his abdication, was persuaded by Roon to appoint the young conservative Otto von Bismarck Prussian minister-president. Bismarck ignored the parliament's blockade by proclaiming his Luckern theory, whereafter, in a deadlock situation between the king and the assembly, for want of provision by the Prussian constitution, the decision of the monarch had to tip the balance. Bismarck was able to keep the public indignation covered, accompanied by his famous blood and iron speech in the Prussian Abgeordnetenhaus. He continued to rule against the parliamentary majority, while the MPs of the Progressive Party found themselves unable to overthrow his government. In 1866, upon the Prussian victory at the Battle of Königgrätz ending the Austro-Prussian War, Bismarck initiated a law confirming the Parliament's power of the purse, but also granting an amnesty for the arbitrary conduct of his government. Meant as an attempt for reconciliation, a vast majority of the Parliament approved it. However, the Liberals were at strife among themselves and the Progressive Party finally split apart. In 1867, the right wing, which supported Bismarck's policies, seceded to form the National Liberal Party. In 1868, a Democratic-Republican wing in southern Germany seceded to form German People's Party. The remaining progressive MPs under Benedikt Waldeck principally supported Bismarck's formation of the North German Confederation, directed at the establishment of a Prussian-led German nation-state, though they rejected the imperial constitution of 1871 as undemocratic. In the first federal election of 1871, the party gained 8.8% of the votes cast and 46 seats in the Reichstag parliament, largely outnumbered by its national liberal rivals. Later on, the progressives approached towards the policy of the new chancellor, to characterize Bismarck's politics toward the Catholic Church. The pathologist and MP Rudolf Virchow used the term Kulturkampf the first time on January 17, 1873 in the Prussian House of Representatives. In the later years of Bismarck's incumbency, the progressives again kept their distance to his government. Under the new board of Eugen Richter, Ludwig Loh, Albert Hanel and Albert Traeger, the party developed to a pan-German Liberal Democratic Party, rejecting Bismarck's anti-socialist laws as well as his free trade restrictions. In the 1881 federal election, the Progress Party reached its best results ever with 12.7% of the votes cast and 56 seats in the Reichstag, becoming the second strongest faction after the Catholic Centre Party. To unite the left-wing liberal forces, the party on 5 March 1884 finally merged with the Liberal Union, a split off of the National Liberals, into the German Free-Minded Party.